Hey everyone, it's Lily Archive back with another Duggar video actually today. I know I haven't been on this channel in a while, but I have recently been inspired to make some content. Um, First of all, we're going to be talking about kind of a Duggar adjacent almost, Deanna Duggar, who is Jim Bob Duggar's sister, estranged, I guess you could say, and also the mother of Amy Duggar King. You know, I have a lot of feelings on her, but anyway, if you want, I'll link the Guide to the Duggar Family video and then a video I've done on Amy as well. But today we're going to be covering a live reaction of an interview that Deanna did recently. I haven't watched this. I've just seen her post this link probably about 10 times. She hasn't done it recently, but probably about 10 times since the beginning of the year, where she's talking about her grandson Daxton going to heaven and coming back or something of the sort. But anyway, I've just been hearing about this video, so I wanted to do a little live reaction for you guys.
Deanna Duggar, I recently got to know her, and what an amazing grandson she has. Her grandson visited heaven, and he visited the throne room of God.
Go ahead, Dax.
Hey, I'm Dax. I went to Jesus' house.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm trying not to laugh. Like, it's not funny, but I did not know that she was going to be showing that poor child. Just the fact that she's, like, using the kid and, like, doing her kind of crazy face, it's just very odd, but let's continue on this video.
Yes, Dax, you went to Jesus' house, and tell me about how was it like?
Well, it was golden.
It was
was
golden.
Okay, so I covered up Dax's face on my own. It was shown in the actual video, but on my own for his privacy, because I just feel like this video is kind of weird. I'm live reacting to this, so I honestly didn't even know he was going to be in it. The thumbnail I have, it's just Deanna and the interviewer. But regardless, when you watch the actual footage, he looks directly at Deanna when he says the house is golden. So it makes me think that he's kind of looking to her for approval, which could be genuine because he's talking to this stranger, but it almost seems like she's definitely coached him on what to say or something like that. I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me.
2019, my mom had a surprise death, and I was very devastated, and I was just very hurt that I didn't get to say goodbye to her. Well, roll back a few more years in 2022, Daxie stayed home because he had a cold, and his mom and dad went to church, and we were just sitting out on the porch, and he said, he was listening to me, and I said, Daxie, I said, I really miss Momo. And he said, I fell down. And I said, what? He goes, I fell down at Mama's store when I was a baby. And I said, you did that? I said, I remember when that happened. He said, yes. He said, I went to Jesus' house.
First of all, RIP 3130 Clothing Company. But second of all, I'm assuming when she says Momo, I'm thinking that that's what Dax then called Mary Duggar. So, I mean, obviously, Deanna, I think he's just trying to make you feel better because you're, I don't know, just upset over the death of Mary. I don't know, how she was acting kind of after that, if he could tell that she was upset, trying to bring her comfort. But that's just what it's seeming like to me. Let's watch a little bit more.
I was so shocked. I didn't know what to say, and I just kept listening. And he said, yes. He said, I sat on Jesus' lap. He said, I got to go to Jesus' throne room and see God. And I was just like, tell me more. I said, did you get to talk with Momo?
Okay, so she's obviously referring to Mary Duggar as Momo, but anyway, you're obviously fishing for information and questions. You're trying to get him to say these things. So obviously he's gonna be I haven't even seen the rest of the video, but obviously he's gonna be says yes, I've seen Momo. I just feel like this is a no-brainer.
And he said, Nana, I'm 2.5 years old, and when I'm older, I will share with you. And so later on he did. And he said that Momo said that she missed me and she missed his mama.
Wow.
And I know in heaven it's different because people can't really miss people, but that was very special to me.
Y'all know I am no theologian, but I'm just, what sects like actually believe in this kind of stuff, like going to heaven and coming back? Like, I'm very curious. I'm assuming that Deanna is still Baptist, maybe? That's what Mary Duggar was. I believe she sent Amy to a Baptist school. Like, do they believe in this? Write in the comments if you have more knowledge than me, but it just seems very odd. Um, Also, the whole thing about, I don't know, he said I'm 2.5, I'll tell you later. Like, that's also very odd. I almost don't believe that. Like, why is a 2.5-year-old saying that? It's almost like the sayings of Spurgeon. It's like, girl, he didn't say that. Come on now.
Now, he said he got in a little capsule
Yes.
and transferred really fast, and he saw outer space.
Wow. Deanna, let me ask you, although as a kid, I mean, few words you might say, and also his explanation vocabulary might not be as good as like the like us, but what did he been able to successfully describe to you? How was Hammond was like?
Oh, he said it was so beautiful, Nana. He said it's so bright and shiny. He said it's beautiful. And I was just like, oh, I was just so overjoyed to hear this, because I know that he really went. Because a 2.5-year-old, first of all, we never say Jesus' house. We always say heaven around here.
Yes.
And so that was a big clue.
How is that a clue? Like, I feel like you obviously are saying Jesus is in heaven, so that would lead you to believe he lives there, that's his house. Like, I just feel like he was saying that. Also, I'm just very concerned about, I almost don't want to make fun of her, because I'm very concerned about Deanna's mental state. Because this, I don't know, just the way that she's speaking seems a little bit off to me. Also, who is this guy? Like, I'm going to have to do more research after this. I don't want to get deep into this, because he's, not really related to this kind of stuff, I'm sure, but very interesting. Also, how I wonder how, like, she got into contact. Did she, like, DM this dude? Like, how do they know each other? Does she, like, watch this kind of oh, well, I mean, does she watch this kind of content? Yeah. Like, is she kind of putting this in her brain that this stuff is kind of possible and kind of fixating on this? I'd like to know that as well.
And he says he can look up anytime and he can see God and Jesus. And I heard about another little girl that shared her story on Sid Roth, and she said the same exact thing. Now, what is very interesting is he shared about a creature he saw in God's throne room.
Mm-hmm.
Kids cannot make this up.
I don't know about y'all, but I made shit up all the time.
It had lots and lots of eyes, Nana. Lots and lots of eyes. And it kind of startled me a little bit. And I have a scripture here that I want to share. It's Revelations 4:2-8. And around the throne, on each side of the throne, are 4 living creatures full of eyes, in front and behind.
Deanna ain't playing. She came with her receipts. She came with her receipts.
Grandson, he just believes God. And whatever he believes God for happens.
Yeah.
And the Lord was like, Deanna, your childlike faith, where is it? And I'll admit, I lost it when I lost my mom. The other day, Daxie wanted some chicken nuggets, and we were out of chicken nuggets. And so he just said, I wish I had some chicken nuggets. And 5 minutes later, at our front door were 9 bags of chicken tenders, no antibiotics in them. To me, that's a miracle. God's just saying, hey, you know what? I can provide. I can take care of my children. And he brought him chicken nuggets.
I don't really even have anything to say about that. Honestly, I don't.
When you share this story with the people, what are the people reaction? What the feedback have you gotten so far?
Well, with my friends, they've acted shocked. They're like, oh my, but what a story, Deanna.
Okay, so Jill's kids were with Amy for the day probably like a month or 2 ago. So I would think that Jill's probably still close with Deanna as well, if she's close with Amy. Just going out on a limb. I want to know what Jill thinks about this. No, better yet, I want to know what Derek thinks about this. Because I feel like Derek's not into, like, the whole miracles stuff. I could be wrong, but I feel like not in that way that Deanna's describing, and I need Derek's statement on this, actually.
What would you like to say to the atheists that they said there's nothing, but space? And also to those people who are non-believers, not believing in God and saying there's no existence of heaven. This is just like a unicorn fairy tale stories. What would you like to say?
Oh my god, not them calling me out. But anyway, no, I would say I'm agnostic, and I would never be like, oh, heaven isn't real. Like, I don't fucking know. But I'm not saying that heaven isn't real in this video. I'm saying that this man did not go to heaven. Like, I just don't think it works like that. And also, I think that, like, she kind of put that in his head somehow.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my God is real.
Yeah.
A 2.5-year-old cannot sit back there on a porch and share that story and say he sat on Jesus' lap and he saw the throne room of God and he saw his Momo. Now, how did he know Momo? He had never met her on this earth.
Girl, come on now. I mean, I'm sure you talk about Mary all the time. He's seen pictures, he's seen videos. There's so many fucking pictures of this woman. Like, girl, please. I just don't think that that's an argument for it being absolutely true. I don't know.
So when I showed him pictures...
And Momo is your mother?
Yes. And he had
Okay.
never met his Momo, but he met her in heaven. And I feel so blessed that he got to meet her.
How was it like? Could he describe the throne room was like?
How could he remember this at 10 months old and come back and share with me at 2.5?
Yeah.
He had finally decided to share it when he could talk.
Yeah.
He had been carrying this with him.
Wow. He was 10 months old when he actually
Yes,
visited.
when he went to heaven. And I just know that God has got a special little plan for his life, and it's going to be amazing to see what God does. Because
Absolutely.
if he's already doing miracles.
So you mentioned Momo was your mother. And
Yes.
how long ago did Momo pass away?
She passed away in 2019, June of 2019, on the 9th of June. And Daxie was born October 9th of
Wow.
2019.
And did you never mention her, like you called her, right? Or-
We never called her Momo.
Momo,
We called her
yeah.
Momo. I think he had a vision of her
Yes.
before he went to heaven, because he knew, like when I opened up the phone and showed him pictures, he said Momo, and I said, how do you know her?
I keep reiterating all these things, but I just feel like he can't say Mary, so he calls her Momo, like he just made that up. Also, he even at 2.5, he's definitely seen pictures of Mary. I mean, there are so many photos of her. You cannot tell me that both Deanna and Amy do not have tons of pictures on their walls, and little frames of Mary and them. Like, he knows what Mary looks like. I don't care if he's 2.5. He definitely knows, like, oh, that's Grandma Mary. I'm sure they talk about her all the time, like, from the vibes I get. And just, how often they were around her. They definitely tell stories about Mary all the time. Kids are smarter than you think.
And different pieces of furniture, he knew that was Momo's. Now, people will say, oh, that's weird. But you know what? I think God gave that to us for a special purpose, just to minister to my daughter and I of the great loss that we had. My mom was a very strong Christian, and she loved Jesus with all of her heart.
Okay, Deanna, well, now I kind of feel bad. I mean, if it makes her happy, then that's fine. I just thought it was odd, and I needed to make a video about it just because she posted it 10 times on her story. I just thought it was interesting. Sorry, Deanna. Sorry.
Yes, I mean, I knew she was already there, but to hear that my grandson went to heaven and got to meet her, and then she had a message for us, that was beautiful.
What was the message?
She said that she missed my daughter and I very much.
Oh, wow.
She didn't miss Jimbo or Michelle, who she lived with for like 15 years, or her 19 other grandchildren and like 40 fucking great-grandchildren. Okay. Shade.
I know there's a great gulf fixed between the living and the dead, and I'm not trying to get into demonic stuff. I will not.
Yeah, that again just reminds me, like, what is the theology on this? Like, are Christians typically accepting that this kind of stuff could happen? Also, wasn't there like a kid who said a pastor's kid who said he went to heaven and then he just said like he lied? I don't know. Honestly, to me it does seem a little demonic, and I'm not even religious, but who knows? This could be like a popular thing in Christianity that people believe. I don't know. That's all of this video I'm going to cover. So she posted this about 10 times in the last several months on her story, and it really piqued my interest and wanted to get a live react out there. I'm honestly kind of concerned. And to just conclude, I just think that she was probably putting a lot of things in his head. He was probably concerned about her. Kids pick up on that stuff even when they're young, and kind of told her something kind of about God because obviously she probably talks to him about God a lot. And he kind of went and ran with that. I'm sure she talks about her mother a lot. I just kind of think she kind of put it in his head. She seemed unwell, kind of in a way that she hasn't been in the past. Like if you saw her on the show, even if you saw her in Shiny Happy People, she didn't seem like that. So I kind of wonder what's going on. But anyway, I'm in this video hoping to get some more videos out pretty soon here. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Daxie wanted some chicken nuggets, and we were out of chicken nuggets.